It started with a scoreline that refused to disappear. Months had passed, tournaments had come and gone, but one painful memory still lingered in the back of Alex Eala's mind. A crushing defeat. A match where almost nothing had gone her way. Every tennis player experiences losses, but some become personal. Some stay with you long after you leave the court. For Alex, that match against Linda Noskova was exactly that. It wasn't just another defeat on the tour. It was a reminder of how far she still had to climb if she truly wanted to compete with the world's elite. But here's the thing about champions. They don't spend their careers running away from painful memories. They chase them down, face them head-on, and wait patiently for the chance to rewrite the ending. That opportunity finally arrived on one of the biggest stages of Alex's career. The Berlin Open. A packed stadium. A place in the WTA 500 final hanging in the balance. Standing across the net was the same player who had once dominated her so completely. This wasn't simply another semi-final. It was unfinished business. It was redemption waiting to happen. And before a single ball had even been struck, millions of fans already knew they were about to witness something special. By the time Alex walked onto the grass court in Berlin, she wasn't the same player who had suffered that painful defeat months earlier. Everything about her game had changed. Her confidence had grown. Her movement had become sharper. Her decision-making under pressure looked completely different. More importantly, she had begun proving something that many people had questioned only a few months before, that she truly belonged among the biggest names in women's tennis. Her journey through Berlin had already shocked the tennis world. Entering the tournament as a wild card, expectations were modest. Most observers believed she might steal a match or two before eventually running into one of the tournament favorites. Instead, Alex started knocking down giants one after another. Every round seemed more unbelievable than the last. First came a convincing victory over a dangerous opponent who had just found excellent form on grass. Then came the result that sent shockwaves across the entire tennis community. Facing one of the highest-ranked players in the world, Alex didn't play with fear. She attacked. She trusted her game. She handled the pressure like someone who had been competing at this level for years. Suddenly, people weren't asking whether she belonged anymore. They were asking just how far she could go. But she wasn't finished. Another elite opponent stood in her way, another former champion with years of experience and countless big match victories. Once again, Alex refused to back down. She battled through difficult moments, stayed composed when the match tightened, and delivered another stunning win that left commentators searching for new ways to describe her remarkable run. With every victory, the headlines became bigger. Social media exploded after each match. Fans from the Philippines stayed awake through the night just to watch her compete. Sports networks around the world began shifting their attention toward the young Filipina who seemed determined to rewrite the script of the tournament. Her ranking kept climbing with every round, but numbers only told part of the story. What truly impressed people was the way she was winning. She wasn't surviving matches through luck. She was outplaying some of the very best athletes in the sport. Her left-handed game created uncomfortable angles that opponents struggled to solve. Her footwork on grass looked natural. She chased down balls that seemed impossible to reach. And perhaps most importantly, she never looked overwhelmed by the moment. Every challenge only seemed to make her stronger. Yet despite all the incredible victories she had already collected during the week, there was one obstacle that carried a different kind of weight. Linda Noskova. This wasn't just another top-ranked opponent. This was the player who had exposed every weakness in Alex's game during their previous meeting. Earlier that season, their match had ended quickly and painfully. Noskova had controlled nearly every exchange, serving brilliantly, striking winners from both wings, and never allowing Alex to establish any rhythm. It had been one of the toughest defeats of her young professional career. Those kinds of losses can affect a player in different ways. Some lose confidence. Others become afraid to face the same opponent again. Alex chose a different path. Instead of letting that defeat define her, she treated it as motivation. Every practice session became another opportunity to improve. Every tournament became another step toward earning a rematch. She never complained about the result. She simply kept working, believing that if another opportunity came, she would be ready. That opportunity had finally arrived. Across the net stood Noskova, playing some of her best tennis of the season herself. The Czech star had looked dominant throughout the tournament, overpowering opponents with aggressive baseline hitting and a powerful serve that had produced free points whenever she needed them. She entered the semi-final full of confidence, knowing she had already beaten Alex convincingly before. From her perspective, there was little reason to believe the outcome would be much different this time. But tennis has a way of reminding everyone that yesterday's result guarantees absolutely nothing, especially when a determined young player has spent months preparing for exactly this moment. As warm-ups began, the atmosphere inside Berlin's Steffi Graf Stadium felt different. Fans sensed the importance of what they were about to witness. Philippine flags waved proudly among the crowd. Every time Alex glanced toward the stands, she could see supporters wearing her colors, cheering her name, believing that history was within reach. On the opposite side, Czech fans responded just as passionately, convinced their player would once again prove too strong. It created the perfect stage for a memorable battle. The television cameras captured every expression, every deep breath, every quiet moment before the match officially began. For Alex, it wasn't just about reaching her first WTA 500 final. It was about proving something to herself. She wanted to show that the player who had walked off the court heartbroken months earlier no longer existed. She had grown too much, learned too much, improved too much. The pressure was enormous, but strangely, she looked calm. There was no sign of panic, no visible nerves, just focus. She bounced lightly on her feet as she waited to receive the opening serve, her eyes locked on the opposite baseline. Coaches often say revenge should never become a player's motivation because emotions can cloud good decisions. But sometimes, redemption creates a level of focus that nothing else can match. Alex wasn't playing with anger. She was playing with purpose. Every sacrifice that had brought her to this point flashed through her mind. The endless hours on court, the years spent training far from home, the difficult matches that ended in disappointment, the setbacks that could have broken her confidence but instead made her stronger. Everything had led to this afternoon in Berlin. One more match. One more opportunity to prove she belonged among the world's best. As the chair umpire called time, the stadium slowly fell silent. Thousands of spectators leaned forward in anticipation. Across the world, fans settled into their seats, waiting to see if Alex Eala could complete one of the most remarkable revenge stories of the season. The first point was only seconds away, and with it came the chance to erase an old nightmare and begin writing an unforgettable new chapter. The opening exchanges answered one question almost immediately. This was not going to look anything like their previous meeting. From the very first rally, Alex sent a message that everyone inside the stadium could understand. She wasn't here to survive. She wasn't here to make the match respectable. She had come to win. Her footwork looked lighter than ever as she glided across the grass, reaching balls that seemed destined to become winners. Every step carried confidence, and every swing of her racket reflected a player who trusted the work she had put in over the past several months. Noskova quickly realized she wasn't facing the same opponent she had overwhelmed earlier in the season. The rhythm she had enjoyed in their last encounter simply wasn't there. Instead of allowing the Czech star to dictate play, Alex immediately turned the tables. Her left-handed shot stretched the court from impossible angles, forcing Noskova to move far more than she wanted. Each rally became a test of patience, and Alex refused to blink first. The early games were incredibly tense. Every point felt like it carried extra meaning because both players understood how important the opening set would become. Noskova tried to establish control with her powerful first serve, looking for the quick points that had served her so well throughout the tournament. But Alex read the patterns beautifully. Time after time, she anticipated where the serve was headed, got her racket on the ball, and turned defense into attack almost instantly. It wasn't flashy tennis. It was intelligent tennis. The kind of performance that comes from studying an opponent and learning from previous mistakes. The crowd began to sense the momentum shifting. Every successful return from Alex earned louder applause. Every long rally seemed to end with another roar from the Philippine supporters scattered around the stadium. You could almost feel the belief growing point by point. For months, people had wondered how Alex would respond if she ever faced Noskova again. Now they were getting their answer. She wasn't intimidated anymore. She was competing as an equal. Then came the first breakthrough. After forcing Noskova into a series of uncomfortable rallies, Alex earned her first break point of the afternoon. The pressure instantly increased. The Czech star bounced the ball repeatedly before serving, trying to slow everything down. She knew how important this moment was. One mistake could change the direction of the set. The serve came in with pace, but Alex reacted instantly. She blocked the return deep, recovered her position, and patiently waited for the opportunity to attack. A few shots later, Noskova tried to force a forehand into the corner. The ball drifted just beyond the baseline. Game. Eala. The stadium erupted. It wasn't just another break of serve. It was proof that this match was unfolding differently from the painful memory everyone remembered. Alex didn't celebrate wildly. She simply clenched her fist, took a deep breath, and calmly walked to the baseline for the next game. That reaction said everything. She knew the job was far from finished. Across the net, Noskova attempted to respond immediately. Elite players rarely allow momentum to disappear without a fight, and the Czech star began swinging even more aggressively. Several blistering forehands reminded everyone why she was ranked among the world's best. She wasn't going to hand this match away. But each time Noskova raised her level, Alex somehow answered. When the rallies became physical, she matched the pace. When the points demanded patience, she stayed disciplined. When opportunities appeared, she attacked without hesitation. There was a maturity in her decision-making that hadn't existed months earlier. The difference wasn't simply better shot-making. It was better understanding. She knew exactly when to defend and exactly when to strike. As the first set continued, the pressure slowly shifted. Suddenly, it was Noskova who looked frustrated. She began glancing toward her coaching box between points, searching for answers that simply weren't coming. The patterns that had worked so easily during their previous meeting were falling apart. Alex wasn't giving her the same balls anymore. She was changing speeds, mixing heights, opening angles, and constantly forcing her opponent to hit one extra shot. That extra shot often became the mistake. With every successful service hold, Alex's confidence became even more obvious. Her first serve found its targets with impressive consistency. Her second serve, once considered vulnerable, held up remarkably well under pressure. Most importantly, she looked completely comfortable on the grass. While many players struggled to adjust to the unpredictable bounce of the surface, Alex seemed to move with complete freedom. It was almost as though the court had become an ally rather than an obstacle. The fans noticed it too. Every spectacular defensive retrieval brought people to their feet. Every perfectly timed passing shot drew gasps from around the stadium. Television commentators couldn't stop praising the transformation they were witnessing. This wasn't simply an upset in progress. It was the evolution of a young player happening in real time. Midway through the set, Noskova finally created an opportunity to fight back. A couple of aggressive returns gave her a chance to break serve and erase the deficit. The atmosphere tightened immediately. One loose service game could undo everything Alex had worked so hard to build. But this was another moment that highlighted how much she had matured. Instead of rushing, she slowed herself down. She took an extra second before each serve, breathed deeply, and focused only on the next point. One accurate serve forced a weak return. The next rally ended with a brilliant cross-court winner. Moments later, she escaped the danger completely. The roar that followed echoed around the stadium because everyone understood what had just happened. Champions aren't defined only by the points they win. They're defined by the moments they refuse to lose. That service hold felt enormous. From there, Alex never allowed the momentum to slip away again. Her confidence continued to grow, while uncertainty slowly crept into Noskova's game. The Czech star still produced flashes of brilliance, but they arrived less frequently. Alex was making every point difficult. Every game required maximum effort.